Hi! When talking about accessibility in iOS, the first thing that comes to mind is probably VoiceOver. Although it is not by any means the only thing we need to consider when making our apps accessible, I think it's an excellent start. And we'll see in future videos how VoiceOver improvements will translate improvements for other assistive technologies. An assistive technology is a piece of equipment or software that helps people use the devices in a variety of ways. VoiceOver is an assistive technology, more specifically, a screen reader. For now, we'll say that VoiceOver, as a screen reader, provides audible descriptions of what's on screen and a series of gestures to navigate the system. It is mainly used by blind users, but, and it's important to remember, not just them. So we'll consume audible instead of visual information, and we'll still interact with the device using the touchscreen, but in this case, with a different set of gestures. So, first things first, how do I enable VoiceOver? VoiceOver is available in any iPhone device with iOS 3.1.3 or above. So I'm assuming yours meets the requirements. So just go to Settings, Accessibility right below the General Settings, and then VoiceOver. And before you switch it on, I'll explain later in the video how you can turn it off. So don't worry if suddenly seems like the switch is not working anymore. Now, go ahead and turn it on.
VoiceOver on. Settings. Accessibility. Back button.
Okay, you'll find that there is now a black and white rectangle over one of the elements on the screen. This is called the cursor. And if your volume was on, you might have heard the element being described to you. There are two main navigation strategies with VoiceOver. The first one is swipe-based navigation. A swipe or flick to the right goes to the next element on the screen and describes it, like so.
VoiceOver. Heading.
A swipe left, therefore, moves the cursor to the previous element and describes it.
Accessibility. Back button.
The second one consists of exploring by touch. So you can just move your finger around the screen to get a feel for its structure and stop in the element you're interested in.
What's new? Double tap to act. What? VoiceOver. Switch button. On. Double tap to toggle setting.
You can also tap directly anything on the screen.
Speaking rate. 65%. Adjustable. Swipe up or down with one finger to adjust the value.
Now, because tapping means selection for VoiceOver, how do you actually activate a control? You just select it and double tap anywhere on the screen.
VoiceOver. Switch button. On. Double tap to VoiceOver off.
So now you know how to turn on VoiceOver off. Let's switch VoiceOver again to see a couple more things.
VoiceOver on. Settings. Accessibility. Back button.
Another important action when using iOS apps is scrolling. And with VoiceOver, we can scroll up and down and left and right with 3 fingers. In this case, up and down.
VoiceOver practice. Rows 8 to 21 of 21.
And as the final trick, this feature is called Screen Curtain. To activate it, just triple tap with 3 fingers on the screen.
Screen curtain on.
The screen goes off, but you can still use the device with VoiceOver. How cool is that?
Adjust the speaking rate of speech. Button. Braille. Button.
I'm going to challenge you to use your app with Screen Curtain on and try to go through the most important flow in your app. And please share with us your findings and your experience. When you're done, just triple tap with 3 fingers again to turn Screen Curtain off.
Screen curtain off.
And that's it for this video. We've learned what VoiceOver is, how to turn it on and off, and how to operate the most basic gestures including selection by tapping, swipe-based navigation by swiping right or left to go to the next or previous elements, and interaction by double tapping on the screen, or scrolling with 3 fingers. We've also learned about Screen Curtain, to use the device with the screen off. Remember the challenge. See you in the next one.